All right, we have some breaking inputs coming in from the top court, and this is what the Supreme Court said in its oral observation while hearing a case. Supreme Court said India is not a Dharmshala that can entertain refugees from all over the world. This is what the Supreme Court orally observed while refusing to interfere with the detention of a Sri Lankan Tamil national. Is India to host refugees from all over the world? That's what the Supreme Court said in its oral observation. The court went on to say that we are struggling with 140 crore. This is not a Dharmshala that we can entertain foreign nationals from all over. Justice Deepankar Datta, the judge who was presiding the bench, observed this. This is a key Supreme Court observation coming in while hearing the case detention of a Sri Lankan Tamil national. Let me bring in Harish, who's joining us on the broadcast with more details. He's our legal editor. India is not a Dharmshala. That's what the Supreme Court seems to have said while hearing a case of detention of a Sri Lankan Tamil national.
Yes, that's right, Swati. These comments very significant in the wake of, in fact, there is also the raging issue of Rohingyas, and the centre has already told the Supreme Court that in the national interest, the safety, security, national interest, Rohingya refugees cannot be allowed in this country, and they have the right to personal liberty, but they have no right to reside. And at a time when Supreme Court is examining that particular argument from the Supreme Court by the centre, the very significant observation coming in that the India is not a Dharamshala. We are already struggling with a population of 140 crore, and we cannot accommodate each and every refugee. This matter has to be gone into on a case-to-case basis. And as you rightly said, Swati, this came in a matter where a Tamil national had challenged this deportation. Means after his serving his sentence in a UAPA case, the court had ordered that he has to return to Sri Lanka. He had challenged that. He said that he wanted to stay on in India, but Supreme Court has challenged that, saying that India is not a Dharamshala where we cannot in fact accommodate refugees
India
across the world.
Host all refugees. In fact, the judge seems to have asked, is India to host refugees from all over the world? We have Rahul Ishwar joining us as well on the broadcast. Rahul Ishwar, the larger implications, extremely significant. Rahul Ishwar, can you hear me? Okay, I think Rahul Ishwar is not able to hear us. Let's now listen into what the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, said. This is an old bite. Let's first listen in.
मानव देश धर्मशाला नहीं है, जो चाहे जिस उद्देश्य से चाहे यहां आकर रह जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं होगा। कानूनी तरीके से देश के अंदर अपने देश को और हमारे देश को समृद्ध करने का कोई आता है तो इसका स्वागत है, मगर सुरक्षा के लिए खतरा है, उसको रोकने का प्रावधान करने का हमारी संसद का अधिकार भी है।
We have Rahul Ishwar is back with us on the broadcast. Rahul Ishwar, we were just playing out that reaction of what the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, earlier said in Rajya Sabha when there was an argument about introducing the immigration bill in the upper house. Now, the Supreme Court also in this oral observation has said, is India supposed to host all the refugees from across the world? India is not a Dharmshala.
And Supreme Court has rightly pointed out, we ourselves have around 140 crore people. And please remember, this is regarding a formal LTTE extremist. This is not even a normal person. In 2015, he was arrested by the Q branch on suspicion of being a LTT operative, and then he was sentenced for 10 years. Then Madras High Court reduced the sentence to 7 years. So please remember, India is a great land. We welcome all. But at the same point of time, we also have our own carrying capacity limitations. We also have restrictions. We also have resource crunch. So we should be mindful of that. Yes, we are a land of compassion, but that doesn't mean we can sacrifice our own interest for protecting anyone else. So when it comes to the balance of arguments, we should definitely give preference to our own people. And Supreme Court has rightly pointed out that we cannot be some kind of a backyard for refugees from everywhere in the world to come here and sit. And Supreme Court has rightly balanced that argument in a very good way. We are a land of dharm, but we are not a Dharmshala because we are not a backyard for refugees from around the world. Justice Deepankar Datta and Justice K. Vinod Chandran has rightly pointed out this aspect, and we are struggling with 140 crores is a word that Honorable Supreme Court has used, pointing out to our population. So please remember, we also have human resource crunches. We have our own limitations, and Supreme Court officially has upheld it. So this will definitely give an impetus to the narrative that we need to be mindful of our carrying capacity.
Absolutely. Rahul Ishwar, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast with your perspective. Let me, in fact, go back to Harish. Harish, like I was saying, larger implications extremely significant. And the reaction that we played out of Home Minister Amit Shah while speaking in Rajya Sabha, he was making the similar argument, and it was about the Immigration and Foreigners Bill 2025. It was a discussion on that when he made the statement that India is not a Dharmshala.
Yes, that's right, Swati. In fact, a very significant statement coming in at a time when even the Rohingya issue is raging in the Supreme Court. There are several petitions seeking several rights for Rohingya refugees in the country, the employment, school admission, and all that. The Supreme Court has said that, in fact, it has taken very serious view of the fact that Centre has already said that the Rohingya refugees may have a right to life and liberty, but they cannot claim permanent residence in the country because there are instances where they have been a threat to the integrity, in fact, safety, security, sovereignty of the country, and they have indulged in terrorist act. And just in this case, today's case, he was an LTT extremist who was involved in a UAPA case, and he was asked to leave the country after his 7-year jail term ends, but he has challenged that in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court has had nothing doing. India is not a Dharamshala.
Absolutely.
This person has to go back
India is not a Dharmshala, and we cannot host all the refugees. We're already struggling with 140 crore population. That's what the Supreme Court said. Thank you very much, Harish, for getting us the details. Moving on, the Congress party